everybody. Today I'll be scrapping this photo of my grandson with a kitten, and it involves a very funny story, which I'll talk about as we go through the video. I showed you that little wood veneer cat from 7 Paper, which was a Studio Calico brand, and that was my last one, and I'm so glad I had this because it's so perfect. I'm doing some pretty major stash busting today, and everything on my layout pretty much will be from Studio Calico, or not Studio Calico, October Afternoon, except for the wood veneers, which will be Studio Calico, and my glitter foam thickers will be American Crafts thickers. So anyway, big stash busting here. That cloud paper there is from October Afternoon, Summertime. The title is Puffy Clouds. And the background paper there with the, I don't know, sort of diamond pattern on it that's on the bottom, that paper is from October Afternoon Midway, and it's called Ring Toss. That little strip of blue paper that I'm working with and trying to figure out how to put that in the middle, that paper is from October Afternoon Travel Girl, and it's a scrap, so I don't have the name of it. That chevron paper there that I've used to mat the photo is also a scrap from October Afternoon Woodland Park, and that was probably my favorite paper, one of my favorite October Afternoon papers in general. So I'm just playing around here. I like that Polaroid die cut there for journaling, and that came from October Afternoon Summertime as well, from the memory cards. What I did there is, because I didn't have enough of that blue paper to stretch across, I did what we all do, and I just cut it at a place I knew would be hidden by the photo so that I could use it on the paper. And my ATG was misbehaving, so I had to fix that a little bit there. One of the reasons I'm stash busting here is I really love Elle's Studio new Summertime collection, and I can't remember what it's called, but I was going to order it, and I didn't have it yet, so I was doing a summer layout, and I went back into my stash to pull out some of my, last year I bought Simple Stories, Summer Vibes, and the October Afternoon Summertime, and realized how much summer paper I actually have. So I decided this is ridiculous. I don't need to order that, at least until I get through some of this other summer paper, because where I live this season is, you know, just a couple months long. It's not very long. And so I decided I need to use some of this up. So thus, I pulled the October Afternoon Summertime collection. And the cool part is then I also reached back into some of my other October Afternoon papers. I really love that company, but I don't even know if they're making papers anymore. They were so crazy and disorganized, which is really bad, which is really too bad, because they are or were a great company. So anyway, back to the layout now, since my ATG is back on track. I really love that kitty, but I know I'm going to need something to ground him, and I know I'm going to need to ground, I know I need some other embellishments over in that journaling card area. So what I'm doing is I'm just grabbing some pieces from October Afternoon label sheets to use to ground this layout. And so what I did there is I grabbed that navy circle there, and it's from the October Afternoon label stickers called the Ocean Blue. And I think there was like a pirate collection that came from. I can't remember the name of it, but there's great navies on there. Then I'm looking at this sheet here, and that is from the I've grabbed the green circle label first. That's from October Afternoon, the Fly a Kite collection label stickers. And then I realized I might want a little bit of dimension, because that cat, or the little kitten, has some dimension as well. And so I went to my October Afternoon chip and stick, and I found the Sidewalks collection, and that's where the pinwheel comes from, is from October Sidewalks. So like I said, I'm really doing some major stash busting here. I found that rectangular label, and that's another label from the Ocean Blue label stickers too. So I'll ground that pinwheel on that, and actually something else as I go on. And I'm looking for more, just trying to decide I'm thinking I want something at the top there, and then I get a little bit distracted and abandon that for a minute. If you've noticed, I'm putting all of this on wax paper, kind of auditioning how things are going to look. So I'm not, quite sure how everything's going to work out in the end. So I'm just kind of playing with it. And as you can see there, I have way too many sheets of October afternoon label stickers, but that's okay. It is what it is, right? So I tried this scallop square for a while and then decide I have so many circular items in the bottom right corner and not really much round other than the pinwheel in that left embellishment by the journaling card that I really need to do something with a circle. So I'm thinking about that as I'm working through some of these other pieces, and I'm toying with using more chipboard. I was thinking about using a banner piece as an arrow to point out my grandson there walking with the kitten, but I decided against that. In the end, it was too much. So as I'm working with this, I decide that everything is blending in too much to the background somehow, plus they're from all different collections. So I thought if I used a little bit of ink that would help, and that's what I'm doing now. Is I've grabbed my Tim Holtz Distress ink in tea dye, and I'll use that to ink these edges. And I'm living dangerously here because the stuff is glued down, but I'm doing it anyway. So, and as I'm looking, I have the finished layout with me here. There's lots of pieces that I forgot to ink as I was doing this. I can see at least 2 pieces on here that I didn't ink, but oh well, stay livy. So now I've decided that I really like that cluster on the bottom right, so I glued that down, and I'm not sure at this point what I'm going to do with that, if I'm going to leave it just as it is or add journaling to it. Sometimes I like to journal on all those little labels, including my journaling card, and sometimes I don't, but it's there, and I'll figure that out as I go. And I decided that I pulled a circle off that off the watering can label stickers sheet, and that's where that aqua circle came from. So I decided that one worked. Then I grabbed this little epic label, and that came from the Travel Girl word stickers, and it'll go along with the story here that someday my grandson, when he's about 13, is not going to be happy that I recorded, but oh well. His parents thought it was really funny that I had done this page once I showed it to them when they were done. So now I'm working on the title, and I grab these American Crafts stickers, or I'll grab American Crafts stickers in denim and decide to use those. I auditioned quite a few different fonts first to decide, and a lot of them were not quite right. They were too light or too scripty. I really wanted something blocky. I was trying to decide between these 2 alphabets, and once I put that one on, I decided it was a little bit it was too big for one thing, and it was also too light. So the story behind this photo is my grandson was with me a couple weeks ago for an overnight, and I have 2 cats, and they're a little bit shy, so they hide under beds and things like that. And my grandson kept saying to me, let's go look for the kitties, or that he was looking for the kitties, except he can't pronounce the K right now, and it comes out as a T. So the entire 2 days that he spent with me, he kept telling me he was looking for titties, which I about died. Every time he said it, I had a really hard time not laughing because it was so absolutely funny. And I decided I really needed to get that recorded, but I didn't have a photo of him with my cats because he, they're too shy for him. So a couple weeks later, he was at a wedding that took place at a farm, and my daughter-in-law took this picture of him with a kitten, and I thought, oh, I totally have to get this recorded because A, I love the photo, and B, the story is too funny not to record. So that's the story, and I will tell you, as I'm posting these layouts, I'm having to be very careful about putting that title out, and my title is going to be Looking For, because I don't want people Googling it and coming up with this. That would just be awful. Anyway, so this is just one of those stories you absolutely have to get down. while I was talking, I was working with that alphabet. I didn't have any I's and I didn't have an S. So I took 2 J's and I cut them down to make the I. And then I took an 8, the number 8, and I cut it apart to make an S. I saw that tip a while ago, and that is a fantastic tip. So if you have an 8, but you don't have an S, use that. That's really cool. So those are the American Crafts stickers, again, in the Cherished font in the denim color, which, oh, I love these stickers. I'm going to be very sad when I'm out of them. So now what I'm doing is I'm going through my October afternoon mini markets, and I decided I wanted to use one of my green alphabets, and I was going to title this something else at first, I don't remember, but I didn't have enough of the letter available, and that other green sheet behind it is a little bit darker, and it just wouldn't have looked right, A, if I had mixed the letters, and B, it was too dark for to put on the layout itself. It just called too much attention to it. So these are the October afternoon mini markets in green and cream, and they're from the Fly a Kite collection. Oh my goodness, I can't speak this morning. From the Fly a Kite collection, which is a very old collection, so it would probably be very hard to find. But anyway, if October afternoon does go away, I'm going to be very sad because I love these mini markets letters. And even though lots of other companies make them, it's just not the same. So now I'm going back and I'm looking for more pieces to add, and I find this little sticker from the October afternoon summertime little labels, and it says Good Times is the name of it. So I'm just kind of playing around way too much, but playing around with where that is going to go. And I do decide eventually that that's a good spot for it. All right. Now, the other thing is I'm just looking for more little things, and I'm thinking about, at one point I was thinking about doing a label from on the top right there of the photo, and I kind of abandoned that to do something else. So I went back and I found that that tab there, and that came from the October afternoon report card word stickers. And then as I was looking at that, I found this little circle embellishment there from the report card word stickers as well that says show and tell, which is kind of funny, you know, ironic with the whole looking for titties thing. So anyway, I did put that on there, and I realized I had forgotten to ink a few of these things. So I put that on, you know, I got the inking done. That little green label that I put at the top of that pinwheel there, by the way, is from the summertime little labels as well. And now I'm doing a little bit of journaling, and as I'm doing my journaling, I realize that I have a wood veneer cat on there, but there's no other wood veneer on the page. So after I finish my journaling, I will figure that out, just because I don't mind that it sticks out, because obviously it is the story of a cat, or, you know, is a cat related story, so that's okay. But I really want to add something to it. Now, I could have kept journaling down on the bottom of that Polaroid frame there, but I decide that I have all those open circles and I might as well use them. So I finish up my journaling on all the circles there, adding dates and just some other cute little things. So the date's gonna go there, and then on the next green circle there, I'm gonna write "so funny and so innocent," because of course he didn't realize what he was saying. Which is really, really cute. So I'm journaling there with my American Crafts Precision pen in brown, just in case you want to know where that came from. So this is how I store all my wood veneers, just in these like little bins for nails and screws and that kind of stuff. I just bought them like at Walmart or something in the hardware department because they're a lot cheaper than the scrapbooking stuff. And so I grabbed this heart, that little heart, and decided to put it on the pin. I was going to put it on the label or the tab up there, and decided to put it on the pinwheel instead. And then I went back and I found another heart embellishment, and those two hearts are from Studio Calico. Found those, you know, I'm playing around with sizes there a little bit, but found those and decided to add those to the layout. I am just about finished here. Here's the still shot and a couple of detail shots. Hope you are all well. Bye.